With that, what's going on, crypto crew? Sean's coming back at you with another cryptocurrency video. We're not going to waste any time in this video. We're going to get straight into it. So what happened in the market? You see Asia's first spot Bitcoin and Ether ETFs make lukewarm Hong Kong debut. This was posted a day ago. Right now, at the current time it's recording, it's the 1st of May. If you don't know, there was 6 spot and Ether exchange traded funds, or ETFs, finished mixed in their Hong Kong debut on Tuesday amid relatively lukewarm trading, as the city tests Asian investors' enthusiasm for crypto assets. So basically what you can see here is that this was a dud. Is that correct? Well, not really, because if you look back in the charts, what do we see? So January 10th was when the Bitcoin spot ETFs actually passed. And January 10th, you see this run up. And what happened here? Let's zoom into the price action. This is on the 2-week chart. So that's what we're showing you. Every candle is 2 weeks of data. So this is December. This was the 1st of January. So from the 1st of January until the middle of January, look what happened. We went from a high of 48,000 down to 38,000. And right here, people were calling the ETFs a dud. And then from here, over the next 4 months, BlackRock, Fidelity, ARK Invest, and the other US exchange traded funds gobbled up hundreds of thousands of Bitcoin over a 4-month period. And then look what happened to the price. So let's just look at what happened. We've seen a pullback leading up to the ETF, going down into the ETF 21%. People were calling the US spot Bitcoin ETFs a dud here. So we went down 21%. And then look what happened. We went up over the next so many months, 91%, almost 100% increase. So running into May 1st, we had the Hong Kong and Asia ETFs passed. So what do we see? We see similar price action. We see a meltdown. And also we had the halving. The halving tends to melt into the halving. Current time is recording, we see a 22% pullback. So could we see another 97, 96, well, almost 100% run to the upside if this is the bottom? The bottom may be in, guys. And if we see a similar price action, that's taking us over $100,000 per Bitcoin. So right now, this is obviously a buying opportunity. Current time is recorded, coming in at 58,180. People are saying the bull run's over and all this stuff. We don't prescribe to that. There's a couple patterns we see here in the charts. Look on the macro. What do you see? This is one chart to be wary of. This major capitulation candle, look of a shoulder pattern here. This could be a head, and this could be the second shoulder pattern that is playing out. So could we see more pain? That's a possibility. Now, we want to zoom out. Let's get rid of these lines, and we want to zoom out on these charts so we can look at the previous bull run. Because as you look at the previous bull run, you do see pullbacks. You see a pullback here of 38%. You see another pullback here of 29%. You see another pullback here of roughly 35%. So why are we showing you this? Because if we zoom into the 2017 bull run, we can see that we have these sort of just pullbacks and then takeoffs. We have these pullbacks, takeoff. We have these pullback, takeoff, pullback, takeoff. So that's what happens in bull markets. We have dips. Dips are meant for buying in bull markets. Now, how can we tell that this is still a bull market? Okay, so let's look at this run up here. The first big pullback was back in May of 16, and then it completed around August of 16. It took about 3 months to have this full pullback play out. Went from a bottom of $436 to a peak of $737, then a retracement back down to $470. So what do you note here? The first red candle close from a run up. You see these 2 big bullish engulfing candles. If you go 2 candles back and the base of this, 437, we never came back and retested 437 fully. So this established a bottom right here. We never came back and tested that. Let's test this theory again. So almost a few months of upwards price action, first big red bullish engulfing, and we come back down and retest here. Let's go 1, 2. So let's put a line here. Look, we just came back down and retested it, but if you zoom in, you see we did not touch that. It didn't touch. So this theory still holds. So let's zoom out on the charts again and take a look. So we have our next pullback here. This run up here, a lot of green candles. Remember, you gotta have some upwards price action, some upwards momentum, and then the first red candle. And then you go 2 back, bottom was here. The bottom was around 1561 and never came back and touched it. Okay, then a couple bullish engulfing candles. And then once again, we see this bottom being established here, never touched it again, and then that was the peak. So if we use this same methodology, even in the next bull run, this was an overhyped cycle here in a bear market. This was the pandemic dump. So you can't really look at that. But you know, even looking at the pandemic dump, you see that this red candle here, 2 back, we never came back down there. These few bullish engulfing candles here, you see that you go 2 back from this red one right here, this base, never came back down. And then here, 2 back from this base, never came back down. So this continues to stay true. We had the blow off top here. And then look here, first red candle here, you go 2 back, it's a red candle. So you see the pattern start to change right here. It wasn't as many green, we were losing momentum. And this was an ABC irregular flat correction. It's something to pay attention to. So looking at where we are right now, we started this bull run way back in January of 23, and we had bullish engulfing candles, and then we had the red retracement. You go down to the base of this, we never came back down and retested that, as you see here. And then there's some sideways chop. Let's look here. The first red candle's here, 2 back, but this candle did. So this could invalidate this theory, but the candle close was still green. So you see there's a lot of volatility right here. So if this was a red candle close, this is what you need to pay attention to. So once again, looking back at the chart, if that next candle closed red, then that's something that needs to be paid attention to. But it was a green close, which signals upwards momentum still. And then right here, we had this first red candle. So technically, the bottom for this one would be right here, 48,000. Could we see more meltdown, more pullback? Potentially. And if we come back down towards this level, it's going to be something that needs to be sort of paid attention to, because the way you're supposed to analyze this all in all is that you have this one big bullish engulfing candle and use the candle bodies. On these pullbacks, we've told you this before, like if we look at this as one big candle, it looks like right now we're about 1/3 of the overall candle in a pullback, meaning from here to here is roughly 1/3 of this candle. So this is a healthy retracement. This can go up to 50% of this overall candle, which would be around the $52,000, $53,000 range. Now, if it goes anything over that, it technically could come back down to here, but it's a lesser probability to see a bounce and a continuation to the upside. So this is what we see in the charts right now. The Gaussian channel still flipped green on the 2-week as well, so this is something to pay attention to. And once again, looking at the RSI, the trend's your friend to the end. And look here, this trend could come down a little bit more, but this is just stair-stepping its way to the upside. This is still in an upwards trajectory. So with that, are you buying this dip? Are you fearful? Do you think the bull run's over? Or is this just simply a brief cool-off? We don't think the bull run's over with. There's a lot of things that are still pointing to the upside. We haven't seen that macro euphoria in the market. We do think there could be the bull market peak at some point this year, potentially, depending on how this market plays out. But that's still to be determined. If it's not this year, it could be Q1 of 2025, most definitely. Bitcoin bros are buying this dip. Are you? And with that, that's all I have for you today. Once again, I'm Sean with the Bitcoin Bros. You guys like this content, go ahead and smash the like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and show us some love. We appreciate the support. With that, that's all I have for you today, and I'm out.